So we're here at the Arm TechCon 2011 here with John Oram and Jill Russel here from Bright Side of News. So what do you think so far about this conference?
The conference is good. Lots of interesting new ideas. Probably not as dynamic as several years ago when Warren was here as the CEO, and he adds dynamism to the show.
In what way? Like, was it more disruptive, or?
Yes, I think he's more disruptive than the people that are here.
Disruptive of who? Of Intel, or disruptive of what?
Warren's a good salesman, so he knows how to create buzz.
But what do you think about the Cortex A15? What is this? What is this box? How did they do this?
Okay, this is the Cortex A15 with the TSMC 20 nanometer node. No graphics processor in it. Sample as to how it's supposed to work next year. Probably we won't see real product until 2013.
So there's no Mali T604 in there? Not yet?
No Mali T604, no Arm A7 in there. This is a A15 test chip, probably cut off the first wafer and they ran for the door to put it in packaging.
So how is Cortex A15 any different from Cortex A7, which has both the A15 plus the A7? Isn't it basically the same as A15 plus an A7? Or I'm not exactly understanding that.
I think the A7 is good marketing.
Good marketing?
Mm-hmm.
Really good?
They'll be able to license people that are interested in the A7 because theoretically it's going to take less power than the A15.
But can it do all the same things as the A15 as well? If it has both?
They're not really very specific, are they?
Okay. So what did you write here? What are you going to write? What's the latest article you have? What are you thinking about right now?
Yeah, to be honest.
What am I thinking about right now?
Yeah, about.
Gil's thinking about beer right now.
Yeah. You're burning my bubbles, so to speak.
Do you think ARM is powerful enough to power all laptops now?
Yeah.
And do you think Intel is in trouble?
I wouldn't go so far as saying that because Intel will always put a lot of energy to counter any competition.
And a lot of money.
And they do have a war chest. And they also have the manufacturing capacity. Notice that ARM does not have a fab. And they have to rely on external fabs in order to produce the device. So in that respect, Intel still has kind of a leg up because they have a tightly coupled command structures into their manufacturing facility. So but ARM has the multiplicity of a world standard, if you will. So now we're going to see the battle.
So, but what happens once ARM, let's say the A15 maybe is fast enough to be in all kinds of laptops and stuff like that? Isn't that a problem for Intel?
I think that I don't think you're going to see an impact until Microsoft ports Windows Office to the ARM architecture, which will be probably the end of first half 2012 or fall of 2012. Then you're going to see an interesting situation because right now the Intel architecture with the Atom is not capable of doing what the ARM architecture is capable of doing with the A15. Especially now that they've got an A15, an A7, and a T604 Mali GPU all in one place at one time, pulling off a 40-bit coherent
interconnect. Yeah. So what other big news do you think there is? What bright news out of this conference so far?
It looks like Mali and its integration into the Samsung smartphones is now a done deal. And it's pretty impressive.
It's still got good reviews, lots of sales, and the next generation will be A15 T604 based. So probably we won't see that until fall of 2012. But when we see that, we'll see some real competition for Qualcomm and NVIDIA. But they haven't shipped product yet, so we'll never. It's very difficult to predict in advance who's really going to have something that works. The person that's not here is Global Foundries. The Common Platform Alliance people have a booth, but that was yesterday, and they're not in here on Wednesday, and they're very, very quiet at this show. And TSMC received accolades from the show as the big deal.
So what does that mean? Is Global Foundries trying to do something different, or?
Well, only Global Foundries can tell you that, Nicholas.
You don't know?
We can only maybe
we can speculate.
we can make supposition, but that's worthless. You know that.
But it's okay to do suppositions, no? Don't you think AMD is going to do an ARM processor?
Maybe they're not in love with one another anymore. Maybe somebody has lost their sex appeal. I'm not sure. You know how love is. Poof, one day you're hot, and the next day it's cold.
Global Foundries came out of AMD, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Do you think AMD is going to do ARM processors?
That's been bandied about.
No?
No.
There's been a lot of talk. Actually, there's been a lot of talk.
Yeah, there's a lot of
But I
conversation.
think it's all talk.
But I think it's all talk because I don't see any advantage for AMD to pay the licensing fees when they can pay their engineering, and they have a new CEO who's a product management, salesman-oriented person, and they also have a new chief technology officer. So AMD could change in the next 6 months. They have a lot of nifty ideas, but they're not shipping them yet.
How about Intel making ARM? Shouldn't they do that?
No.
Like, if they get in
No,
trouble, they just license an ARM and do it.
No, Intel would rather spend their money creating their own product.
They want to control the whole thing, right? They don't want to be compatible with all the competitors.
They're compatible with the x86 architecture, and that's where they want to stay.
All right. So you think the Mali 400 is very good graphics and the T604 is amazing?
So far, yeah. Well, we'll have to see how it works out.
When we see a shipping T604 with an A15, then we'll say, yes, it's amazing. Right now, it's a good press release.
Good PR.
Excellent press release.
How about servers? Do you think Google, Facebook, and all these companies are just going to use ARM servers very soon? No more Intel.
That's a cautionary statement.
The guys over at ARM have got a 16-slot Marvell-based server, but it's expensive. And small businesses will still look for buying a whole lot of towers before they buy the enterprise level server.
Yeah, the argument's not between ARM and the end user. It's between, for the qualification, it's between ARM. It's between the end server company and the company that is manufacturing the CPUs. Yeah, that's qualification is quite different. ARM is an IP company, so that becomes a more in-depth and probably more hidden agenda of what's really going on because of that. all the companies that are doing the servers with ARM aren't telling the world what they're doing, if you hadn't noticed.
Right. So, how many articles are you going to write out of the conference on Bright Side of the News?
Well, we already have one published, at least, so there'll be more.
Like a half a dozen?
At least
Are
several.
you going to come to work for us?
Okay.
Is that the deal?
Is that the deal? You'll come write for us too? That'll be good.
Okay.
We
wanna
can
come to
use
work?
an extra writer.
Yeah.
Do you need videos? Because I can only do videos.
Yeah.
Can you use this video on
No,
your
but
site?
Yeah.
you'll have to dump that.
I'll have to dump it.
Yeah. How are you at 4K?
I'm not very good at writing stuff down.
4K
4K.
video.
4K video. I have a camera 4K in my room.
Really?
Yeah, well, the Falcon
You got a red?
processor with a JVC, they sent me one. But
Oh, it's a JVC, not the
Yeah.
red, huh?
no, not the red. But it's not a real 4K. It's just a 1080p Falcon Grid.
It's a hypothetical 4K.
Yeah, it could do 4K
really
maybe
big
at some
lens.
point.
Big lens.
How many 4K cameras do you have?
Huh?
How many 4K cameras do you
two.
have?
None.
BSN has two red 4K cameras.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you film with there?
They have a video production company in Croatia.
We film people who usually pay their bills.
You film what?
Film people who pay their bills.
Pay their bills.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very, very important.
Very important to us.
All right. So I cannot be part of the thing. I'm not very good at paying my bills.
I guess not.
Nicholas, do we get a copy of the video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.